Hello fans, welcome to Susie Farms. Here we focus on agriculture, animal husbandry, aquaculture and agribusiness, where we bring research to practice. Our products are purely organic, from the farm to the table, so we can eat healthy food. If you are new here, like, comment, subscribe to our channel and hit on the notification bell. Permit us to serve you with some kola nuts and palm wine, so you can relax while watching. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. What to do with your organic garden in January. It is necessary to cover delicate plants when winter sets in to prevent frost damage and take advantage of the long nights. It's important checking for slugs and snails in protected areas, such as empty pots in the cold frame or greenhouse, even though most pests will be inactive during cold spells. Soil. During the winter, guard exposed soil. Use autumnal leaves as mulch, cover, for your garden over the winter. Cover with fleece if necessary to stop the wind from carrying everything away. Continue to weed. Hoe or pull out any annual weeds, then dig up any exposed perennial weeds. Do not compost perennial weed roots or seed heads, only green foliage. To avoid compacting the soil and harming the structure, stay off moist soil in all areas of the garden. If you must walk on it while it is wet, balance your weight by standing on a plank. This is crucial for clay soil in particular. For the purpose of making leaf mold, keep gathering fallen autumn leaves. Keep them moist and pile them up in sizable trash bags or mounds. Compost. Add enough dry waste to counteract the current high levels of wet waste emanating from the kitchen. For the necessary carbon ingredient, crumpled up Christmas card envelopes and cardboard scraps are quite helpful. Turning your compost will aerate it. See home composting for composting tips. To help the worms survive the winter, outdoor worm bins must be well insulated. Reduce feeding during colder months because the worms won't take as much food. Leaf mold. For the purpose of making leaf mold, keep gathering fallen autumn leaves. Keep them moist and pile them up in sizable trash bags or mold. Vegetables. Garlic can be planted until March. Once cropping is complete, create a compost trench using the old stems from tough brassicas like kale, Brussels sprouts, and broccoli. Where runner beans or other types of peas and beans will grow the next year, dig a trench that is about the depth of a spade. Lay the stems down the bottom of the trench and use a sharp spade to roughly chop them up. You might also add leftover raw vegetables. Cover the trench with dirt as soon as the vegetable waste reaches the top. Make comfort leaf mold. Fill a container, such as a trash, with alternating layers of leaf mold and chopped comfort leaves. Cut 2/3 of the plant's leaves and allow the remaining third to die down and feed back into the comfrey plant. It could take up to 18 months for this to rot down, but it makes a great seed planting medium. Plan your crop rotation for the vegetable plot for the following season now. Just note where the crops will be planted the next year if you already have a rotation schedule in place. Make a list of all the veggies you want to grow if this is your first year. January seed sowing. Try some early tray sowings of seeds. You need a light, cool windowsill because germination temperatures of roughly 13 degrees Celsius are sufficient. Try lettuce, summer cabbage, cauliflower, round carrots, spinach, salad onions, and turnips, among other vegetables. You can plant greenhouse tomatoes as early as January if your greenhouse is heated. Pest and disease watch. Dig over the plots to allow the birds to eat any pests that may have overwintered in the soil if your leeks, onions, or other alliums were bitten by the leek moth or allium leaf miner. If it spreads, comfrey rust can become a significant issue. If required, fully destroy plants and replace them with new stock the next year. Winter brassicas dead and discolored leaves should be removed and composted. They might promote fungi and harbor bugs. Fruit. Examine the state of all tree stakes, supports, ties, and rabbit guards. Watch for wind restriction or swaying. Renew ties and replace stakes if this has occurred. Continue to plant fresh, bare rootstock trees and bushes. To avoid particular replant disease, always utilize a fresh, new location rather than where the identical plants have recently been flourishing. Backfill the hole with fresh soil mixed with manure, homemade compost from the garden, or mycorrhizal fungi if there is no other option. Trim apple and pear trees of any branches that are dead, dying, or diseased. Avoid the temptation to prune stone fruits until May, when the risk of silver leaf infection has passed. This includes apricots, cherries, plums, etc. Remove weeds and grass that compete with fruit trees' foliage. Pest and disease watch. Pick all of the fruit still on the trees. One of the primary springtime sources of brown rot infection is fruit that was left on trees over the winter. To stop the spread of the disease, it is advisable to avoid composting affected fruit. Build a waterproof enclosure around your fan-trained peaches or nectarines if peach leaf curl has harmed them. As rain splashes can disperse overwintering disease spores, it must be in situ before buds begin to form. All that is needed to keep the plant dry is a basic frame supporting a plastic sheet. Verify that the grease bands that are placed around fruit trees and stakes to provide control against the winter moth, plum fruit moth, apple trees should be checked for woolly aphids. Where branches join the trunk and where there are fissures in the bark, look for a whitish fluffy layer. 8. Bird on balcony. With fat balls dangling from trees or bamboo canes placed among fruit bushes and canes, you can entice birds to your garden so they can consume winter aphids. 9. Herbs. Remove autumn leaves that have fallen and are obscuring low-growing herbs like thyme. This will stop a layer of moist foliage from engulfing the plants and possibly killing them. Look for thicker and curled-over leaf edges on bay trees. Under a layer of white fuzzy wax, the suckers nymphs reside there. At the base of trees where adults will spend the winter, remove all damaged leaves and sweep off any leaf debris. Put all materials into the green waste container rather than the compost pile when disposing of leaves. 10. Flowers. Leaf spots and downy mildew can harm winter pansies. Regularly deadhead and immediately remove sick leaves. Garden planning can begin now. Always try to have something blooming. This is necessary for the wildlife, which is crucial to the health of your organic garden. 11. Maintaining the area's health. There are many spider nests around right now, each one containing eggs that will hatch in May. Baby spiders resemble their prey in appearance, and since hungry spiders will eat large numbers of insects, care for these future predators. By providing fat balls and other bird feeding stations, you can draw hungry birds to your region. They will thank you by devouring a large number of insect pests that hide under blooms and on stems out of our sight and grasp. Birds are very useful for clearing away aphids that have overwintered in shrubs and fruit plants. Consider the holly blue butterfly, which is the only butterfly and ivy for holiday decorations. The caterpillars feed on ivy blooms, while the females lay eggs on holly buds, therefore it is dependent on both plants to survive. By December, the larvae will have wriggled into the fallen dead holly leaves and be waiting for spring to hatch. 12. Greenhouse. Overwintering plants' dead or dying foliage should be routinely removed to avoid the growth of mildew and mold. During the winter, potted fuchsia plants frequently become colonized by whiteflies. It's too chilly to utilize biological control right now, so use insecticidal soap to keep everything under control. Carry plants outside very cautiously if they are heavily afflicted so as not to disturb the whiteflies. Shake ferociously outside to loosen the insects, then rapidly reinstall inside the greenhouse and close the door. 13. Ponds. Ponds should not be disturbed at this time of year since frogs and other animals are hibernating. Remove duckweed and dead leaves gently. Plants that are invasive can grow even in the winter. 14. Houseplants. As plants aren't growing much right now and leaves don't lose moisture in cool weather, watering should be reduced. Keep plants barely damp. Between now until March, there is no need to feed plants. To maintain high humidity levels, mist the underside of leaves. Red spider mite are deterred by this. Check out our selection of indoor plant-friendly insect treatments. I hope you are enjoying our content. Kindly like, comment, subscribe and turn on the notification bell to keep up with updates. Thank you for watching. Cheers.